When I first set foot on this property, I honestly believed I'd finally left it all behind. No more name badges, no more board meetings, no more folks in polos telling me how to mow my yard or where my mailbox ought to go. Retired at 36, my reflection, a faint ghost in the glass I'd left behind years as a federal inspector, years spent wading through corruption office power plays, and the kind of bureaucratic nightmares that make you old before your time. All I wanted was some peace, a place just for me and my old dog Rex, where nobody could get in my face about paint colors, front doors, or the height of my damn hydrangeas. Colwood County, Washington. It's not nowhere, but you'd have to get pretty lost to find yourself here. My land sits at the dead end, a private drive ringed by forest thick enough to make even the wind think twice. Out here, there were no community rules, no pastel mailboxes, no neighborhood association meetings, just me, Rex, and the crunch of gravel under my boots. I hung up a sign by the mailbox, private drive, no trespassing, not subject to shower regulations. It wasn't poetic, but it was direct. I wasn't about to be bullied, not after everything I'd seen. Didn't take long for the trouble to show up. I'd barely finished putting up that sign when she arrived. Mid-50s blazer, too sharp for the sticks, clutching a binder like it was a badge. Face set in a look colder than a December morning. "You must be the new resident," she said, skipping the handshake voice, sharp as a slap. "I'm Karen Browning, president of the Willow Pond Estates Homeowners Association." I'd seen her type 100 times in my old line of work, the kind who thinks a stack of papers is the same as the law. I just answered, "Name's Aiden. This land isn't part of your association." She blinked. Wasn't a friendly blink either, more like her brain glitched out. I pointed at the sign, "Private land, not HOA." I had the paperwork, deed map, survey, nothing linking me to her board. But Karen wasn't a quitter. "Well, whatever your paperwork says, the whole area falls within Willow Pond's area of interest. You use our road, our water, so you're subject to our rules." I couldn't help but laugh. "Area of interest isn't legal, Karen. I moved here to stay clear of all that." She tried to get me on paint color, number of dogs, my hunting trailer parked near the woods. I shrugged her off. Everything was licensed on my land and absolutely none of her business. She stormed off, but I knew she wasn't finished. People like Karen never are. I put up more cameras just in case. 3 days later, I found an envelope on my gate. No stamp, no name, just resident typed on the front like some kind of summons. Inside was a violation notice from her HOA, wrong house color, illegal trailer, too many dogs, non-compliant, mailbox aesthetic. I couldn't help but laugh. I sent it straight to Marcus. My lawyer, smart guy, handled my closing. "It's crap," he said. "Just keep records." But that was just the beginning. Moms with yoga pants and iPhones started filming me from the road. I'd wake up to fresh citations taped to my bins, or worse, catch Karen herself sneaking onto my land before dawn, dressed like a cut-rate spy, posting more notices. I sent everything to Marcus. He told me to keep documenting, so I did. Then one morning I found construction junk dumped across my drive, broken fence posts, busted toilet seat, even part of an old swing set. I took pictures, then cleaned it up myself. Didn't take a genius to figure out where it all came from. A day later, Karen turned up again, standing with her clipboard in the cul-de-sac, whispering to neighbors, pointing at my house like it was a meth lab. The rumors started spreading. Some old guy in a golf cart pulled up, asked if I planned to follow community expectations. I asked which ones. He mumbled something about trailers and drove off. I kept adding cameras, more signs, GPS tag for Rex. I wasn't backing down. I knew my rights. My parcel was never part of Willow Pond. Public records proved it. But this wasn't about paperwork anymore. It was about Karen's pride. Me being here was a splinter under her perfectly manicured nails. Then out of nowhere, Mark, an old Vietnam vet, 2 doors down, red Ford truck eyes that had seen too much, rolled up. She did this to another couple. They sold and left. I asked why he didn't speak up. I keep my head down. "You, though, looks like you're not built that way." He was right. Next thing I know, my cameras catch 2 figures creeping by my fence at midnight, flashlights off, slapping up new pending community action stickers. I sent the footage to the sheriff's department. No real help. Out here, unless someone's bleeding, they don't rush. Then one morning I get back from a supply run to see 2 men in safety vests blocking my driveway, a white SUV idling, and my private property sign gone, replaced with community property, no unauthorized access, HOA logo front and center. Karen's on my porch in a blazer and sunglasses like she's about to give a press conference. You've been warned. This house is now under administrative reassignment. I actually laughed. That's not a real thing. You broke into my house, changed my locks, and put up fake legal crap. That's trespassing. Her guys tried to get physical, one shoved me. Rex growled low and dangerous. I stayed calm, caught everything on video, and called 911 loud so Karen would hear every word. Police showed up, real ones, not her wannabe enforcers. They checked my paperwork, watched my footage, and then asked Karen the question she couldn't answer. Do you have a legally binding contract over this land? She didn't. They cuffed her and her security. Trespassing, forgery, conspiracy, obstruction, she'd racked up quite the list. But you know how it is, justice takes time. Marcus and I pulled together every email, video, and fake letter Karen had sent. In court, Marcus played the tapes, showed the county map, shut down every lie. The judge wasn't buying any community spirit nonsense. 9 years for Karen, 6 months for her henchman, over $300,000 in damages. The HOA collapsed. The neighborhood finally saw the truth. Afterward, people started treating me like a neighbor for the first time. Mark brought beer, others stopped to chat. I put up a new sign, private property non-HOA, hello Karen. Rex got a new doghouse. The house felt lighter. I felt free. The best part, the county passed a law, Pierce's Law, so this kind of HOA bullying would be a lot harder. Wasn't something I set out for, but it meant something. One morning, walking the tree line with a thermos Rex at my side, I spotted a cardboard sign, Karen was here, nailed to a tree. Maybe a joke, maybe not. I burned it anyway, then looked at my home standing strong in the clearing and said out loud just to the wind, I came here looking for peace and I found it. But if anyone ever tries to take it again? Rex looked up, tail wagging. I'll bury them under the HOA charter. That's the truth. The win wasn't just in the courtroom, it was in keeping what mattered most, my freedom and my peace. So let me ask, where do you draw the line between community and control? If you've tangled with an HOA or you've got your own Karen story, drop it in the comments. Where does justice end and power trip begin? I'll read every word, and who knows, maybe you're not the only one who's had to stare down the clipboards.